Hello fam, what's good? We're back, EPL match day. We're up against Norwich. 4-0 winners. I know, 4-0. This is Arsenal. So yeah, surprising win, emphatic by what I can say. Let's just get into the PE guys again. We have Murray and William from the PE Supporters Club. Welcome, guys. So let's just dig straight into it. 4-0 win. How you guys feeling?
Quite surprised. Quite surprised. Very happy with the result, and especially the way that the lads played. Yeah, it's good to sort of see that type of football back at the Emirates. And I was sort of saying, like, I don't know if it's the fans that are normally giving us some bad vibes when they go there, but I mean, we played with a lot more freedom tonight. And 4-0, I'll definitely take the 3 points. I think there's a lot of work still to go, and hopefully some other results can turn in our favor over the next couple of days.
How you feeling with it?
Yeah, like Murray said, surprising. I have to be honest, I didn't expect a 4-0 win. I was going for 2-1 or 3-1 win. But
I think you predicted 3-1, 3-0 in the last video. 3-1,
yeah, but yeah, it was quite surprising. But yeah, it was. I think our style of play the first half was excellent. The guys played with a lot of freedom, and second half I think we struggled a bit. They changed their formation up a bit, and it was nice to see Arteta adapt with Aubameyang and Lacazette up front. He made that switch within the first 5 to 10 minutes in the second half. So yeah, happy man. Obviously difficult fixtures coming up. Yeah. I hope this is not our last W for the season.
Fingers crossed.
So yeah, let's keep the fingers crossed.
So let's just get straight into it. I like to go. I told you guys I like to go line up first half, and then we'll go into second half. So obviously with the lineup we went. I think maybe this is tried and trusted, 3 in the back, David Luiz going into the center of the 3, and then he kind of set it up quite nicely. For me, I was a bit hesitant with Nelson, but I think he had a good half. But then we can unpack the half as we go, 2 goals in it. So yeah, with Aubameyang scoring his 50th, and then Xhaka about a few minutes after. So how you guys felt about, obviously there was a lot of talking, not a lot of talking points, but good creativity in the first half that we saw. And I think it was a bit more energized, and as Murray said, maybe the lack of fans gave them the kind of confidence to just go out there. But I also think maybe just being at home, it did look very beautiful, as the Emirates, like, but no one there, you just realized how stunning that stadium is. But yeah, let's go ahead. Like, how you guys feel about the lineup first half and the 2 goals that we went into there? So we can go with you,
man. I think the lineup was, when I saw it, I thought, okay, it's quite a decent lineup. Especially with Tierney on the wing and Krishnak also sort of at the back. So we had that defense sort of sorted, and Kieran's doing an absolute fantastic job on the left. And it's going to be quite interesting when Saka comes back. I know we did do a bit of a squad rotation from our win against Sheffield. But it was a strong squad, and you saw it from the get-go. I mean, we played with a lot of freedom. Danny was absolutely fantastic. I think that partnership now with Danny and Xhaka it's actually working. And Xhaka's really stepped up his game, especially under Arteta. I mean, he's taking shots, he's passing the ball well, he's doing the long shots, he's getting in with the tackles. I think the whole team is actually playing extremely, extremely well. And we're taking our chances. I mean, I think, forgive me, the previous one that we had before Sheffield, or I can't remember who it was against. It was the Brighton, not the Brighton game. That's it. Once we got the ball in their half, and we counted and we turned straight away, and we went straight for goal. I think we've still got that energy there now, and going towards the final third. Which is fantastic, and I think now it's eventually paying off that that we managed to take our chances and we got the 4 goals. Arsenal of a couple of weeks ago, we probably would have scraped 2 goals and then probably conceded in the 60th or 70th minutes, and then we would have been sweating for the last couple of minutes of the game. But I think overall it was absolutely fantastic. 2 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the second half. Danny's played well. I think he's really got a point to prove. especially now with his loan that's been extended. Xhaka also played very, very well. Aubameyang, Lacazette up front. I'm loving that partnership. They really sort of connecting quite well as well. But yeah, I think hopefully we can continue this form. I think we're going to need to. Looking at obviously with City and all of our other competitors above us, so we're really going to need to be on top of our game. And yeah, hopefully we can grab a couple of more W's before the end of the season.
How about you, William? How your take on the lineup into the first half?
I must say I was quite surprised with Nelson starting ahead of Pepe. I think the Pepe he's getting a bit of confidence, and you can see he has that little bit of swagger around him. It looks to me like Pepe is gelling with the squad a little bit more. As before the season, he looks like an introvert type of guy. If I just looking from the outside, if I can sum him up in that way. But he looks happy. He's smiling. He's greeting the Oaks on the sideline. So I was a bit skeptical with Nelson coming in, especially I think they took off Pepe the 60th minute, the previous game, to reserve some energy, and then he didn't start today. So I was a bit skeptical about that. But yeah, like we're playing in 2 days' time, so maybe he'll get to start next time around. But yeah, like I honestly think Oaks need to realize that Xhaka's an absolute baller. With the correct system under Arteta, I think he's really starting to find his feet. I mean, the guy had he had a difficult season. I think this is his first goal in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken. For this season. So yeah, he's had a difficult season, but he's an absolute baller. Even the Ceballos, that partnership. Can we extend that? Can we buy Ceballos now, please? It worked out perfectly. But Tierney, the past 3 games, he's been absolutely immense. Like you said, the 3 at the back worked out perfectly. Lacazette's not scoring, but he's working his ass off. Honestly, he's chasing every single ball. He looks committed. His head doesn't hang about. He's not getting frustrated on the pitch. He's working his ass off. So yeah, I must say all of them brought their little piece to the party today, and I'm happy, especially with Tobias and Tini today, and Xhaka.
Yeah, Martinez as well. Martinez also had a fantastic game.
Yes,
he's really
he's been solid. He's been solid. I must say
those 2 top corner saves that he made were just phenomenal. Full stretch.
His distribution is a bit sketchy, especially his long kicks. The past 3 games, he's been kicking it out directly out. I don't know if it's that meaningful, but I doubt it. But yeah. And his one pass today also didn't find, I think it was Kolasinac. But yeah, his saves and his communication from the back, he's been absolutely wrong.
But you guys did make some valid points. The combination with Xhaka, and I think he stepped up in terms of, I think this goal is a reward for his actions from the captaincy issue till today and how he's progressed. He does make those 2 mistakes here and there, but he's gotten a bit more solid. That goal was really good. The build-up play, everything to it.
Yeah.
And the first goal for me, Aubameyang, was just alertness. We needed that. I think Nketiah kind of brought that as an upfront striker, always on the guys. So I think they realized that. For me, I didn't expect it, and I'm just so glad that Aubameyang gets 50. Fastest Arsenal player. So I think he deserves that after the season we've had. And I actually thought we had a really good half, but then as we get to talking to the second half. Look, the Norwich guy, he changed it up, three subs, I think, in the second half.
Yes,
we went out the same. I think, he took Mustafi off. Maybe he saw some stuff. I think also another big talking point is that all the guys we kind of discredited really played well. And of course, Tierney, I don't know, he's just, did you see that picture in the one match where he's just so angry and screaming at the ref? I think that just sums up exactly the type of guy he is. Passionate, aggressive, he's a baller as well. So, but the second half, I think a lot of people like, what were we doing? But Norwich, you have to give credit. Norwich came out. They came out to play in the second half. That Hernandez guy and this other guy on the right wing, I think, is a little kid. They were actually playing
Okay.
quite well. And as much as we didn't see much of the ball, I was quite happy with the way we were absorbing, the way we were trying to get at them. You know, it didn't look pretty, but it was quite effective at the end of the day. You know, we allowed them, a lot of the tackles were made further away from our box instead of getting into our box and making silly tackles or just outside. Yeah, there were some hiccups there, here and there, but we kind of saw it through, and then goes into Aubameyang again, another mistake. It's like these guys, we paid them something to give, because now he ends up squaring top goal scorer. So now it helps his season. Obviously, alertness by him, bit of luck, and then for me, I don't know if it's a goal of the game, because I think Xhaka's goal was good, but sorry, Cedric coming on like what, last 10 minutes or whatever, and you know what a strike. You know, when last have we seen a shot from outside the box, let alone from our right back? And Bellerin, I don't know, he was a bit offish today, and then you could see really shone because they just gave him the ball and they like ran with it. So yeah, sorry, I'm just going on, but yeah, essentially those for me were like the takes from the half, and I just want to get you guys, feeling on how the second half went, because first half was beautiful, but second half showed a bit more of what the team needed in going into these next few matches, you know. So yeah, sorry, Murray, if you.
No, that's good. No, I think you've hit the nail on the head. And you know, in the first Goonercast that I chatted to you on, you know, I was saying like, why are we not taking more shots from outside the box? Why are we not, you know, why are we always going on the ground? Yes, today, you know, Xhaka scored along the ground, Aubameyang scored along the ground, but I mean, those shots were hit with purpose. Previously, it was almost like a pass towards the keeper. Cedric comes on and he hits it so cleanly that it misses all the defenders. I think one of the defenders tried to put his hand up, and I mean that would have been a handball. It would have been a red card. But you can't defend against those shots. And I think we still then brought it. I think we sat back a little bit. I think Arteta thought, okay, let's see what their tactic is, because I mean the ball's in their court, and he made the changes based on their changes, and I think it worked out for us. I mean, as I said, Danny, I mean, I think he nutmegged 2 guys. Fantastic. It was awesome. But it looks like he's getting that match fitness back again. Nelson he wasn't too bad. I think let's give him a run, because we've got Wolves on Saturday, and Wolves are above us. And I mean, we got to start closing the gap on top 4. And Wolves haven't exactly been, you know, just a walk in the park. And I think we're playing them away as well. Yeah. So if we can keep Pepe, if Pepe can be fresh for that, if, you know, hopefully some of the other guys can still be fresh for that, and we can still continue to grow. And, you know, work on what we currently have at the moment. And Arteta seems to be changing and applying tactics based on the team that we're playing. And it's been working. You know, okay, look, it's only 2 wins or 3 wins in a row, but I think this is what we were doing before the break, or before the COVID break, where we were gaining that momentum, and we started to find each other on the pitch and learn how everyone plays and get into that system. And then we had the break, came back, played City first game, and yeah, you know, there were positive signs. I mean, we had a couple of injuries, and I think Xhaka was one of the keys to that City game, because as soon as he went off, everything went to hell in our midfield. Yeah. But you talk about the passion of Kieran. He, like, you know, you sort of look at Kieran and you look at, let's say, Gunduzi. I mean, Gunduzi's like sort of said, you know, he wants to leave the club. This kid's 18, 20 or 18, 19, 20 years old. But Kieran's just as old as him, but he's got that fight and he's working for his place. Yes, he's only come back from injury, but, you know, do we now need Gunduzi? Because the times that he has been on the field, he's been, you know, sort of running around like a headless chicken, taking nothing away from his talent. I think he's got raw talent. But, you know, if he wants to play the way he's going to play, yeah, we bought him from a League 2 side, and maybe that's the mentality. But he's got to understand, this is Arsenal. This is a big football club. This isn't, we're not playing like Sunday League football. Yes, we're under a lot of scrutiny when it comes to the press and that, but, you know, you've got to step up. And I think Arteta's going to realize now, like, okay, if you think you're bigger than the club, get out. We can work around it. And I mean, we've got Niles that can also fill that position. Willock, not too bad, but I think he was just hungry because everybody was hungry. So he needs to make a point. So he seems to play the way that everyone else around him plays. So if everyone else around him is good, he's going to be great.
Yeah.
But we need a player that's going to influence the game. And I think for now, that's going to be Danny and it's going to be Zaka. And, we're doing well. Bamian looks pretty sharp up front, which is great. Hopefully we can take some more shots from outside the box. Keep the defenders guessing. But if we can find the gaps, we can find the gaps. But overall, I think we did well. Arteta did well. The guys did well. They dug deep. Martinez, couldn't fault him at all. Got a clean sheet under his name, so hopefully that's going to give him a bit of confidence leading up to the City game and the FA Cup final, because we will probably use him, and then hopefully then take it on, till the end of the season.
William.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got one thing to add, guys. Aubameyang looks happy. I don't know. Maybe
Now he
that's
does, yeah.
maybe that's he's maybe just leading us on. Like, when you meet a girl in the club and she's like sort of looking on, and then he just turns out to like. Yeah, but Aubameyang looks happy. I mean, when he left the pitch, it's not like the days of RVP and Fabregas and even Sanchez when they were on their way out. They just look distraught. They look disinterested. But I mean, that's probably just me hoping for him to maybe sign a contract. But yeah, he looks extremely happy. He looks happy to lead the team. He looks happy to lead the line and to give confidence to young guys like Willock and Nelson and that sort of things. So yeah, I think he looks happy, and like Murray said, the Willock issue, he's come on under a lot of scrutiny, but I mean he's a young boy. He's been put in a role where he needs to create things, and maybe it didn't happen for him the past couple of games. But yeah, when everybody around him plays well, he plays well. And we just need that extra bit from him, where he needs to put up his hand and he needs to go out and he needs to be the guy like Saka and Tierney and all the young guys coming through. He needs to go out there and be the guy. Martinelli is another example. So I think Willock has a big future at our club. And when it comes to Saturday, we're going to need legs against Wolves. We're going to need a lot of legs when it comes to Wolves. I think they're going to, if we're not going to step up defensively, I think they're going to run us ragged. But we're going to need legs. And maybe that's a decision of putting Pepe on the bench today, because the last game he really surprised me with his defensive effort. I mean, he was running all over the place. Him and Maitland-Niles, and maybe that's the Arteta's he's thinking going into the weekend. Maybe because everybody was screaming, Maitland-Niles needs to start now every single game. But maybe Arteta's looking, he's looking ahead. So I can't fault these choices today, honestly.
Yeah, today I think.
Well, just speaking. Sorry. Speaking of the Abba and the Willock issue, I think Abba's happy now because he's actually getting supply. Danny is Zaka's sort of sitting back slightly, and Danny's just running that whole width of that field right behind Abba, and he's looking for the ball so that he can try and play the ball forward, and that's what we've been missing. I think he's happy now because he's now I've got more chances to actually try to put the ball in the back of the net, and he got 2 today. Okay, fair enough. One was from a bad pass from a Norwich player, but at the same time, he was alert enough to actually sort of step up, control it, take a breath, and then and slot it. You speak about Willock as well. One game that comes to mind was that Liverpool game in the Carling Cup.
Yeah, he was fired.
He was on fire, but then look who was next to him. It was Danny. And Danny was giving him that opportunity to have that free roll, and he was probably whispering in his ear, so say like, "Whoa, hold on, move a little bit forward like that," and he was trying to guiding him through it. So Willock is probably not a leader, and I think a lot of people are trying to get him to be that Fabregas role. And as you come into the role, you all of a sudden step up and you're this this Fab Four type of thing. But he's not. Maybe he needs a bit of guidance in the field. Maybe he needs that creative player to allow him to go forward freely a little bit and to provide him with ball. And I mean, Arteta must be choosing him for some reason. Like, as I said, like I'll be the first to say that, you know, I sort of criticized him with his previous performances, but you know, looking at today's game and looking at the past games, he needs that other player there to sort of say, okay, right, go there. He needs an Arteta on the field, basically.
Yeah.
And Aubameyang can't always be there because Aubameyang's going to be up front and Willock's got to track back. So we need another midfield captain who's going to pull him into line and get him in the right way. Whether it be Xhaka, whether that be Danny. Personally, I think it's Danny. I think Xhaka can still have an impact on Willock. But, you know, if Xhaka's very defensive-minded as well as attacking-minded, he can make that switch very well. That guy, I think, will bleed and die for the team. You know, if he will sprint that whole field just to make sure that the ball doesn't get into our own net. So, you're learning from Xhaka, yeah, I think in regard to a box-to-box, that'll be great. But, you know, going forward and finding those gaps, I think Danny's probably going to be that man. So Arteta now has to sort of see, right, what type of player do I want to create in Willock? And Willock does look very attacking-minded. I don't think he's a defensive-minded player. I think that's more for Maitland-Niles or Callum Chambers to maybe come into the middle as a CDM. That's it.
He's almost there. I don't feel it. I think if you give him the gap, he'll pick it. But he can't find the gap. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of, like, just draw a few players in and release it off. But as you said, Ceballos got that quality. I think we're lacking that because of Ozil. I mean, we hope Ozil can bring it in. But you know what? The scariest thing is that all of you guys are saying this, but we forget the injuries we have with No Torreira, even Guendouzi, and those were our star defensive midfielders. So, you know, to say that Ceballos, this shows now we're going to have a bit of depth, a bit of more squad rotation. At least the guys are stepping up, you know, and it's really, for me, I knew Ceballos can play, but it's games like these that we need to see him. Remember the first Burnley game, he was just on fire. And I think Arteta's also, his regime, or the way he wants his boys to play, is very intense. So some can make it and some can't. And you can see like a Willock and a Saka. Even though Aubameyang is thriving, but as a Ceballos, it takes a bit longer to get into it. And maybe a few, even Kolasinac for me, I don't feel he is the third centre-back quality, but I think Arteta is the only person that can probably groom him next to Luiz to get into that role and maybe hold him, because he feels still like that wing back. He still got that, he wants to run, and then he forgets that I can't just run. And then Tierney, for me, can fill that role better, but you rather want him to distribute as a wing back, you know? So it's really nice, I think, to have this kind of discussion when we're talking about players that about 3 to 4 months ago weren't even in our world, you know? You don't want to talk about Mustafi, Luiz, Xhaka, Ceballos wasn't even playing, so yeah, really nice.
If you look at Kolasinac now, who would have thought that guy can literally like sit back and defend? He was back in the day with under MMB, he was just screaming down that left hand side, attacking all the time. Arteta just changed everything up. Now he's sitting back and he's literally defending. He's organizing Tierney. He's feeding him. I mean, that's excellent to see the way that Arteta's changing these guys and actually demanding certain things from them. And he will be the first one to say, listen, it's either you're on board or you step out of the club. And I mean, that's a perfect, that's a perfect attitude for a manager.
Yeah. We didn't. So, sorry, just before we wrap up, just few questions for me is obviously your man of the match, you know, and I would say I don't like to add some downness, but a negative out of the game, you know, if there is any, you know, we always want to improve, so it's nice to know what we could have felt we could have done better. 4-0, I don't think it's any better. When last did we score?
We should have scored 5.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about it. I was like, we had like 4 chances before the first goal, which like Lacazette, Aubameyang, those 2 headers and stuff. Yeah. But for me, it's just that presence in front of the goal. You keep getting shots, you keep, you know, eventually you're going to score. It wasn't pretty, but the first 3 attempts were amazing. So, you know, even that one curler, I think there was a curler, yes, by Aubameyang. So, and then obviously your best goal. So, I don't know, just to make it interesting, because the first time I have 4 goals to talk about, so I'm going to utilize it quite well. So yeah, maybe Mike, you can give us this your man of the match, just one negative, if any, and yeah, your best goal.
I think man of the match would probably have to go to Danny. I think he really pulled the strings in the midfield and in the strikers and the defense. I think he really did well with that. Best goal, I think it'd probably be Cedric. Well done to him. I mean, he just sort of came on, and I think he's going to give Bellerin a big run for his money. One of the negatives.
Maitland Niles.
It's
We have options. Wow, we have options.
yeah,
Options.
we
We have
got
options.
We got options. Negative, it's very difficult to say. Hey, I think we really played well. Defense, I think, still does need to sort of be a bit sharper and be a little bit more stable. But yeah, I think it's a work in progress. Arteta's using what he has at the moment. I think once Saliba comes back, or yeah, he should be back quite soon, and once he's fit, next season I think it's going to be a whole different thing. I mean, holding Saliba, Tierney, Kolasinac, Mustafi, Louise, all at the back. I think it's going to be a whole new ball game for us in the defense. Maybe well, we've just bought another two defenders as well. So I think we're going to be quite good or secure at the back, provided that everybody stays fit. And yeah, I think everybody needs to improve. So I think that's one of the negatives. I think we're not looking as sharp, but it will come in time. So it's not so much as a negative, but I think there's room for improvement.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
For me, man of the match, I'll have to agree with Murray. I think Danny absolutely rocked that midfield with Xhaka, and then the goal of the match has to be Xhaka, man. You really see him in the box scoring. You usually see him outside the box with those long shots. And for a second there, I thought it was Aaron Ramsey running into that. The near post, just scoring those goals. So yeah, I think it has to be Xhaka with the goal of the match, and also the placement.
Yes.
He just knew where to place the ball. So yeah, I think not taking anything away from Cedric's goal, that was absolutely brilliant. But we really see Xhaka in that role where he runs towards the ball, near post, and tries to
I
create
think maybe
something.
most deserving as well. So
Yeah.
for credit for what he's
Like I said, the dude had a difficult season. So yeah, like you said, he's most deserving.
I think that's what we love about fans. We know when we're wrong, and we can give credit
Yes.
where it's needed.
Exactly.
And that's what makes us love our club.
Yeah.
Sorry,
negative for me, I think it has to be that right hand side. To be honest, I think
Yeah,
our left is fairly secured now with Tierney. The right hand side is still question marks.
So,
but like
it's just like it's not like it's like
we have options there. We have Pepe, we have Maitland Niles. You can play Cedric now. He's come in. I think he's put in a few great crosses for that 10 minutes that he's been on. Bellerin, there's question marks around Bellerin. But yeah, I think that's a negative. Our right hand side still needs, especially with Pepe on that side. I mean, he's probably next to Aubameyang, probably our best players on the field when he's on song. So yeah, I think our right hand side needs fixing up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no, fair points. Thanks, guys. So maybe I just thought of one last question. Sorry, before we go. Well, look, our run is like what 5 games of just hell. We were like Wolves, Tottenham, Liverpool, Leicester. I don't even want to know if there's anyone else.
It's straight after Liverpool is City, the semi-final. So I think it's going to be a really, really tough week, and that's I think 3 days. So.
But in terms of Arteta, look, we're happy with what we see, and we just want him to play. So either way, whichever way it goes, I think these are good games for him to try whatever he needs to. So going into Wolves, you guys did mention it before, how strong they were. They pulled a double over City. So you know what I mean, this season. And I think he's like the third manager in ever to pull a double over Pep. So it's quite impressive. But yeah, going into Wolves, how are you guys feeling? We are confident, So, but yeah, any predictions if you want to give any last few words?
I think it's going to be quite tough, especially playing away. Wolves are hungry for that 4th place spot, and we just have to be, more hungry for it. And we can't not go there and think, okay, a draw is going to be fine. We have to go there for the win. And I think Arteta's going to be saving his best squad for that game. And I think we're going to see fireworks. I'm not willing to say a prediction.
Okay.
I don't want egg on my face. I'm a little bit superstitious when it comes to that sort of
No,
stuff.
it's fine. That's why I put it in there, because you never know.
Yeah, but I really think, and I'm hoping that we are going to come away with the win. I think the confidence is on the up. If Danny does play and if Aubameyang gets a couple of balls, why not, eh? Why not? I mean, now I think Wolves are going to be looking at this and saying, okay, but Zucker's now scoring on the left. Isn't he supposed to be, deep in the midfield? Danny's running that midfield. Lacazette's all over the place. They didn't even see Pepe tonight, so they're going to know that Pepe is going to be running. He's going to be sharp. He's going to be turning. He's been trying to turn his defenders inside out. Oh, yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to be one hell of a game, and whoever pitches up on the day is going to take the points. I can't see it being a draw. I think there will be a winner, especially because both teams are firing for that top 4 place. And yeah, I think maybe hopefully we can get the win. Maybe 2-1. Oh, it's going to be
there we go. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
I'm just
what are we going to do with holding? Are we going 3 at the back with Luis in the middle? That's probably the question. But if we do go 3 at the back, I'm going to 0 win for us. But then Maitland-Niles needs to start on that right hand side with Pepe. I think Bellerin's he's struggling at the moment. I think he's just lacking all sorts of confidence. That one run that he made, where I think it was a goal kick or corner kick.
When he got confused, he just got confused.
Yeah, the Bellerin from a year, 2 years ago would have just crossed that ball hard as nails, and someone would have probably ended up scoring. But yeah, he's just lacking all sorts of confidence. So I'm saying if we go 3 at the back, stick to what's been working with that left-hand side, right-hand side, Maitland-Niles starting, and then bring in Pepe, and then, 2-0 for us, definitely.
Okay, I like that. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming on, giving us your views. Don't forget, everyone, PE Supporters Club, when they open, please go and support these guys. They do some cool stuff. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. Good luck, SA. We out.